Hi guys, it's Amanda at Circle Oil Rescue, live with Real-Time Animal Rescue. I am coming live to you from, one of our area lakes, and needed to get out and spend a little bit of time in nature after today's day. We've got a storm starting to roll in, and it was just a little bit of peace that wasn't necessary. I wanted to talk a little bit about the kitten that we've had at the vet today. She was dumped. If you didn't see our first broadcast, she was dumped at my house around the middle of last week, and she had a lot going on. She was potentially having some seizure issues. We aren't 100% sure. She had definitely malnutrition issues. There is a possibility of, that's some thunder. There was a possibility of some contagious disease process. We were concerned of possible rabies exposure. There's just a plethora of diseases that we were not able to rule out, because ultimately, when I got to the vet's office this afternoon to pick her up and bring her home, she passed before she was able to come home. So that being said, there's a few things that we wanted to address that kind of slipped our mind, or still slipped my mind, during the first broadcast on this topic. And probably the number one thing right now is how preventable her death was. You can get on any of our area Facebook, buy-sell trade groups. There's even specific groups dedicated to rehoming pets, and find a plethora of kittens being given away, because, as somebody actually told me today, well, they're a dime a dozen. You can't sell them, you just have to give them away. Well, her life mattered a little bit more than that, and it should have mattered to those who decided that she didn't need to be with her mom anymore, even though she was only about 5 weeks old. Obviously did not provide her mother with proper care. Otherwise, her mother would have had a spay and not have reproduced. Kittens in an area that is completely overfilled with unwanted animals, unwanted pets. We can't stress enough that there are not enough homes here in Oklahoma for the number of unwanted pets. It's just that simple. There's not just not enough homes. There's not enough rescues. There's not enough pounds. There's not enough shelters. There's nowhere to keep these guys safe. And we're failing. We're failing epically. Gandhi said that the greatness of a nation and its moral progress can be judged by the way its animals are treated. And I think it goes without saying that we should be judged fairly harshly. We could be doing so much better with very little effort, truly, very small amounts of effort, to prevent things like this, to prevent little babies whose lives have barely started from dying needlessly. That's little Baby Willow. And she's now gone. Through no fault of her own. She didn't ask to be born. She didn't ask to have no veterinary care for her mother. She didn't ask to have no veterinary care for herself prior to coming into my care. She had too many strikes against her to survive. And while she was at the vet today, I spent quite a bit of time on the road with personal appointments, going back and forth to the vet's office. And I counted, and I crossed between 4 counties in Oklahoma, and I counted 31 dogs at large and I was on fairly major traveled roads and highways. 31 dogs in 4 counties over between about 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. So over the course of a day. That was not going out of my way to look for them. That was literally dogs I encountered as I drove through. And that's 31 animals that have nowhere to go. It's about to blow in a storm on top of us. If I'm not sure if you can hear the thunder, but they will be outside and they have no shelter. They have no protection. They have no one. They're at risk of being hit by a car, like Wally. They're at risk of being shot. We've had several people at Fido Fest tell us that they had one of their own personal dogs shot. That's Wally, if I can find him. He was just hit by a car on the 28th of August in Tahlequah. He's 5 months old. Again, he didn't ask to be here, but he is here, and he's here through the negligence of the humans involved in his world, and it's time we do better. So this is a second plea. If you are a rescue organization and you are outside of Oklahoma, please reach out to Rescues in Oklahoma. Even if you can take one dog out of here, one animal, one kitten, one horse, an animal that's in need of safety, if you can take one, you're going to make a huge difference in the life of that one. And that will be one less here dying needlessly. That will be one less here suffering. And that's what we have to have. Ultimately, that's the goal, is to end this overpopulation and unregulated breeding that is occurring. So if you can offer a home to anybody, we have actually now 69 dogs on our wait list. Call me at the number, wherever it is, right there. Call me, and I'm more than happy to share our wait list. I know pretty much every other rescue organization in the state would love if someone outside of Oklahoma said, hey, can we take one of your dogs? So if you can help, please do in any capacity. And if not, if the only thing that you can do, the animals here need prayers. They definitely need prayers. Thanks, everybody. I'm going to get back home and hunker down before this storm comes in and enjoy the last bit of the sunset.